All right, guys, welcome to Modro 2, where we will be going over your hamstring. Your hamstring is essential in your leg development, as it is very crucial in every single movement you do, right? So whether it is if you exerting force and speed and jumping, all that comes from your hamstring, right? Or just like creating that well-rounded full leg, as you guys can see, your hamstrings. It's very, very important if you want to create that nice aesthetic and that good legs, all right? So we're going to be going over the same thing again, where we'll be showing you guys some compound movements that target your hamstring and isolation movement that target your hamstrings and how to do the exercises effectively and correctly. Nothing have changed here in the sense of our rep and our sets, but just pay attention, guys, because do not skip your hamstrings. It's essential in your development. A lot of people ends up injuring themselves prematurely because they don't train their hamstrings. So when they go to run or they're doing sprints or jumping, they end up pulling their hammy, and this is why, guys. So we have to train the hamstring, and you have to train it effectively. All right, so let's get into it. The first exercise we'll be doing, which is a compound lift or compound movement, is Romanian Deadlift, or RDLs for short. This works out your whole posterior chains and works on your movement dynamics and focuses on your hamstring as well as your lower back, your glutes, and it targets all of that. Remember, guys, compound movement target multiple muscle groups. All right, so this is essential in your development, and I'll be showing you guys how to use it effectively. So right here we have the dumbbells and the kettlebells. For me, I prefer the kettlebell. Let me explain a little bit why I prefer kettlebell. The kettlebell is a good alternative, not necessarily because it works out different groups. They both target the same muscle group, but the kettlebell forces you to train your grip strength as well, and the imbalance of the weights, as you guys can see, is not perfectly symmetrical. So when you're using the kettlebells, it forces you to engage your core naturally and works out your forearms, your grip strength, and your wrist strength as well. Then if you are using the dumbbell, which has been designed perfectly for you to just hold. All right, so I prefer the kettlebell when I'm doing my exercises, but it really is a personal preference. But the kettlebell will add an extra level of difficulties as you progress throughout your fitness journey. Remember, in one of the courses we discussed how to prevent plateauing, and this is one method you can use to prevent stagnation and plateaus. All right, so as far as the RDLs, right? What you want to do is you're only moving at the hips, right? Your knees has to be locked back, guys, because you want to target your hamstring, right? And if your knees is bent, you're not targeting your hamstring, you're missing out, and this is not RDL, this is deadlift. If you're going like this, if you're bending your knees, that's deadlift. RDLs, your knees have to be locked back, and you have to force target your lower back and your hamstring. So let me show you guys, right? Boom, feet shoulder width apart, and all I'm doing is bending at the hips but keeping my lower body stagnant. All right, boom, and don't be afraid to go all the way down. That was the great form RDL right there. And you'll feel it when you're down here. Your knees are locked. Your lower body is straight up. The only thing that's bent is from your waist upwards, right down here, and you'll feel the tension in your hamstring. So make sure you stretch adequately prior to going into this movement. And for those of you guys that have lower back problems, like myself, there's alternative exercise. We'll go into that as well. But for now, a very important hamstring development at work exercise is your RDLs. So we're going to be doing 15 reps for 3 sets. As you guys can see, when I go to pick up, my form is different. And when I go into the movement, it's different as well. So keep your knees straight, pointed forward, legs locked back. boom, and bring it all the way down the ground, right outside of your toes if you're touching the ground. Now you can do this with dumbbells, you can do this with kettlebells, or you can do it with the barbells, all right? So there's different methods, but we're just gonna focus on the kettlebells and the dumbbells for today. All right, let's go into it. Remember, I'm not rushing it. I'm not in a hurry. I'm using the right form so that this is helping and targeting the right muscle group, and I'm not injuring myself. All right. Next one, we'll demonstrate using the dumbbells as well. All right, guys, so now we did the compound movements. We're going to go into the isolations. And for this iterations, we're going to be using single leg deadlifts with the kettlebell. So single leg deadlifts is essential in developing your hamstring, but also working out your whole posterior chains, opening up your hips, and just stretching out your whole lower body. So it's really good for you. All right, so how you want to do this, right? You're going to alternate again, single leg. So start feet shoulder width apart. Start with the kettlebell on the working leg to the opposite of the working legs. You're going to use the opposite hand of that working leg. So in this scenario, my left leg is the one that we're going to be focusing on. So I'm going to be using my right hand to hold the weights. And as you bend over and grab the weights, you're just going to kick back and maintain your balance throughout the whole movement, all right? And we're doing 10 reps of this, 3 sets as well. So let's demonstrate. Pick up the weights, hands out to get your balance, tighten your core, and go down. Boom. Right there. 1, 2. Try to kick your leg all the way up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Remember, guys, you want to keep your head up as you're going down, so you open up your airway, right? You don't want to constrict your airway on these movements. Alternate legs. All the way up. Seven, 8, 10. I'm gonna stick to teaching you guys how to work out. The dancing's not for me, guys. Okay, guys, another key equipment in your hamstring development is the laying leg curl machine. All right. So one of the reasons why people use the machine is because it alleviates a lot of the tension on the joints and is very good in isolating the specific muscle group, especially for this, right? It's going to target directly your hamstring and only your hamstring primarily. All right. So again, same rep, same sets. We're going to do 3 sets and 10 reps of this one. So I specifically don't really like the machines because of my frame and my height, right? It's not really practical for a taller individual, but for you guys, it's phenomenal. So I do a lot of like the free weights, but as you get older, as you age, your joints strength is going to deteriorate. So you're going to start leaning. You got to start leaning more towards the machine to protect your joints. All right, guys. But let me show you. Let me demonstrate. Make sure the pad is right at your ankles, right? Right at your ankles. And all you're gonna do is bring your leg up, all the way up, and squeeze, tighten your back, tighten your leg, your hamstring. And I like to do it to go down slowly on the descent. No, don't play around with that because I can already feel it, feel the tension. I feel the pump in the hamstring.